So I want to ask you, what is your plan for the day? What is your plan for tomorrow? What is your plan for next week? What is your plan for next month? Let's do a Christ check, homie. What's your plan? Because what's the answer to that? You shouldn't know. If you have an answer for that, I want to understand how you know. Did God tell you? Because the Bible tells us not to say what we gonna do, because that's up to God. It's the indication of how you're living your life. Is it for God? Is it open and available for God to instruct you, for God to provide you direction, for God to tell you what it is that you are to do? You see, I have no idea what I'm doing today. I don't have a clue. I do not have a clue. Today is the Lord's. Whatever He wants me to do today is what I'm going to do. I don't have a clue what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't have a clue what I'm doing next week. I sure don't know what I'm doing next month or next year. I don't know where I'm going to be at. When I tell you I don't know, I don't know. I mean, the Lord could have me in another country. As far as what I'm going to do for a living, as far as who I'm going to be connected to, as far as what my ministry is going to be, I don't know. Y'all, I don't even know what my activity looks like today. I don't know what my schedule looked like today. Am I going to work out? Am I going to straighten up my house? Am I going to make more videos? Does God have an assignment for me to do? I have no idea. Because my life is surrendered to the Lord. Whatever He wants me to do is what I'm going to do. You see, that takes time to get to. That gets to a point where you have to be willing to give up control. The Lord got to spend some time with you to get to that point, some serious time with you. Let me tell you what it takes to get to that point where you really have relinquished control over your life to the Lord. It takes you deciding that you actually want to live for the Lord. So I ask you that today. Do you want to live for God? Do you want to have the Lord lead your every step, inform and instruct your every move? Do you want that? Because some people don't want it. Some people like, nah, I can't imagine just, waiting on the Lord to tell me what to do. I got my own plans. I got my own desires. I got my own wants. Yeah, I don't want to sit and wait. I got things to do. Okay, be honest with yourself and start there. Why don't you want to? Why don't you want to be led of the Lord? Why don't you want to sit and wait on the Lord? Why don't you want to have the Lord lead and guide your every step? Do you think He gonna lead you in the wrong direction? Do you think He's not for you? Do you think He is going to tell you to do stuff that you don't want to do? Those are things that you got to deal with, because those are prayer points for the Lord. Lord, help me to have a want to. Help me with my surrender. Help me with the understanding of why that's necessary. Pray into that thing, because that's where you need to start. Do you want to have a life that's surrendered to the Lord? So you got to make the decision. Then the only way that you can hear the Lord's voice and hear him leading and guiding your every step is if you know his voice. You got to take time spending time with him to learn his voice. How do you do that? By going after God with everything that you have and working on establishing intimacy with him. Make time for him. Do what you know to do. Do what you know to do and make that intention to be, Lord, I want to meet you here in all this activity that I'm doing, reading, praying, worshiping, all of it. God, I want to meet you here. God, I want to know your voice. God, I want to go away with you. Lord, take me away with you. I want you to have my life. I want you to have control over my every step. I want you to inform me, and keep going after God with everything that you have. And he will enter into that process and begin revealing his voice to you. Then the Lord has to be able to process you. It's the process of healing and restoring, training, preparing, and dealing with you, and taking you through a process where you're relinquishing control. Oh, this took months. This took months. And I still have not arrived. I still have moments where I want to take back control. I still have moments where I do. And God has to rein me back in and be like, nope. And I'll be like, God, but I won't, but I need. And the Lord is like, Jennifer, I thought you killed the need. Dead men don't need. What is it that you need again? And then I got to remind myself, okay, all right. This ain't a walk of perfection. This is a walk of a real human being that's just trying to follow God. But he will take you through a process in which he will have you go through and do certain things to keep you off balance, to keep you in a state where you can't control, to keep you in a state where you won't know, to keep you in a state in which you are humble enough to seek him and to understand that that is what you are supposed to do, is to be still and wait on God and figure out what this next step is. Now, I don't spend a lot of time waiting. When I ask the Lord what he want me to do, he tell me what he want me to do. Or he's already told me before I ask, because the steps of a righteous man are ordered of God. He gonna lay out the steps for you. But you got to make that commitment and you got to seek him. But first you got to decide if you even want to. Some of you guys are wondering why God don't talk to you. Are you going to listen? Why would he talk to somebody that ain't going to listen? Some of y'all are against God. You so wrapped up in your flesh that you are hostile to God. Why he going to try to talk to you if you hostile to him? So the first step is, instead of wondering why God's not, what are you doing? You seek him diligently and trust that he is a rewarder of those that will seek him diligently. But do you want to? And it's not a point to where you just decide you don't want to and that's it. No, baby. That's where you start. Do I want to? Nah, I don't want to. I don't feel like it. I think I should live this way. Okay, you need to start praying aggressively over that. Lord, this is where I'm at. Help me. I don't know what you can do. I don't know how you can do it. But I need to bring this before you. And I need you to help me through it, because I want to get to you. Help me to get to you. And he'll show you. Talk soon.